I never thought I'd be sharing something so personal, but I need to get it off my chest. Maybe an outside perspective will help me understand what I've come to realize. My wife and I have been married for 5 years, and I always believed our relationship was built on trust, respect, and honesty. Or at least that's what I thought, until 7 months ago, when she revealed something that nearly shook the foundation of our marriage. At the time, she was 4 months pregnant with our first child, a baby boy, Beau, and we were overjoyed. After trying for nearly a year, finally conceiving felt like an incredible blessing. As her pregnancy went smoothly, we began discussing names, each suggesting ideas. I leaned toward honoring my grandfather, a man who raised me after my father left. My wife seemed okay with it, so I assumed we agreed. Then one evening at dinner, she hesitated before suggesting a name I'd never heard from her before. "What do you think about the name Tyler?" she asked, her voice holding something unspoken. I paused. Tyler wasn't a bad name, but before I could respond, she took a deep breath and admitted it was her ex's name. The words hit me like a shock. I nearly choked on my drink. "You want to name our son after your ex?" I asked, sharper than intended. Felt bizarre, even offensive. Who does that? My mind swirled with confusion, jealousy, and a hint of betrayal. Yet she stayed calm, simply saying, "It's important to me." Despite trying to stay rational, my thoughts ran wild. Was she still in love with him? Had they stayed in contact? Over the next weeks, our open communication collapsed. Every time I pressed her, she got emotional but gave no explanation. The tension became obvious, even to family and friends, though I was too embarrassed to say why. One evening, my mother invited us to dinner, sensing the strain. When she casually asked about baby names, my wife said without hesitation, "Tyler." My mother asked why, and she simply replied, "It has special meaning to me." That was the breaking point. On the drive home, I couldn't hold back. "This is our child, not just yours," I said. "I deserve to know why you insist on naming him after someone from your past." She pulled over, tears filling her eyes, and finally shared the truth. "Tyler saved my life," she whispered. "And he's gone." Her words left me speechless. She told me a story I'd never known, a story that changed everything I thought I understood. Years before we met, during her sophomore year of college, she had been in a serious relationship with Tyler. They were together for nearly a year when he was diagnosed with leukemia. Despite his illness, he stayed hopeful and determined to fight. She supported him through the treatments, the exhaustion, the despair. One night, after a hospital appointment, a truck ran a red light and barreled toward them. Tyler, despite his weakened state, swerved the wheel so the truck hit him instead of her. He died instantly. She survived with minor injuries. The investigation confirmed what she already knew. Tyler had sacrificed himself to save her. Weeks later, doctors revealed his cancer had advanced further than expected. He likely had only months left, but even then, he chose her life over his own. Her voice trembled as she spoke. "He knew he was dying, but he still saved me." For years, she carried the weight of that night, the guilt of surviving. She never shared the details, the pain was too deep. When she met me, she finally moved forward. But now, expecting our son, she felt the need to honor the man who made her survival possible. The man whose act allowed her to be here, to start this family with me. I spent days processing her story. I looked up news articles about the accident, confirming everything. I discovered Tyler had been more than brave. He'd been kind, volunteering at a children's hospital, spending his final days bringing joy to kids facing the same disease. One afternoon, I called my wife to lunch. I gave her a small box containing a keychain engraved with the name Tyler. Her hands shook as she held it. I said, "I've been thinking. Tyler is a great name for our son." She cried in the restaurant, clutching the keychain. "Are you sure? What about your grandfather?" she asked. Smiled. "We can use it as his middle name, Tyler James." Sounds perfect. Something shifted after that. She began sharing more memories of Tyler, some happy, some heartbreaking. Each story gave me a deeper understanding of her strength, her capacity for love, even the quiet sadness that lingered. 2 months later, when our son was born, I filled out the birth certificate. Seeing his name there felt right. My wife cried, but this time her tears were healing. A few weeks later, we visited my grandfather, his namesake. Watching my 82-year-old grandfather hold our son, I felt the threads of history weaving past and present, loss and renewal. When I told him the story behind Tyler's name, he nodded. "He had a character worth remembering," he said. "Your boy has big shoes to fill, but he'll manage fine with you as parents." Yesterday, we received a package from Tyler's parents. My wife had reached out after our son's birth. Inside was a handmade blanket and a letter that moved us to tears. They were grateful their son's memory would live on and hoped to meet little Tyler someday. We plan to visit next month. My wife feels nervous but hopeful, bringing past and present together in a meaningful way. This journey hasn't been easy. Jealousy and doubt threatened us, but I chose to listen and understand rather than react. Our son carries the name of a man I never met, yet when I look at him, I don't see the past. I see our future. Love isn't always simple. Sometimes it stretches beyond the present, connecting us to those we've lost and the stories that shaped us. One day, our son will know why he is named Tyler. Not because his mother couldn't let go, but because some people deserve to be remembered. And now, as I write this, one hand cradling my sleeping son, I feel grateful beyond words.